I hear people saying, best episode ever, best show ever, bringing back Star Wars. You know what? You need to pump the brakes. If you like talking sci-fi and fantasy, please subscribe. Don't make me beg. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Sporking News Podcast. My name is Scott. Let's talk about The Mandalorian, Episode 8, Season 1, The Redemption. I have to say, I had mixed feelings on this episode. I feel like maybe if I go back and watch the whole series, it might change my views on every episode because I feel like they may have cut it in a movie up into 30-minute episodes. But this was the longest episode. I believe it was over 40 minutes, maybe even 48 minutes. But that's with the title crawl and all that stuff. It was directed by Taiki Waititi. I'm not the biggest fan of his. He is someone who has attacked this fandom, attacked people that I know, attacked friends of mine, calling people, names, saying he killed their mythos just because they had questions, just because they didn't agree with the new Thor movie coming out. And he just went on the offensive. So I don't respect that. You are a creator, you're an actor, you're executive, you're a producer, whoever you are. The customer's always right, even though us customers can be, jackasses sometimes. You don't attack them, okay? Nerds get defensive about things we love. We get outspoken on definitely on the internet, and you just let it go. Why attack us? Why is that like the new thing? Why was that the new thing of 2019 is to attack your fandom? Lucasfilm did it, Marvel did it. I mean, Disney. But so he directed it. He did a pretty good job. I did not like the beginning of the episode, but I also loved it. So let me explain. You have two speeder bike troopers, the ones that just the episode previous killed one of people's most beloved characters, the Nick Nolte character, the Nuck Nuck. We find out that he is dead in this episode. He's been terminated. Now, those guys on the fly killed him. Now we come back and it's a comedy sketch. Okay. It tries to make it light and funny. And yes, for a short period, that would have been really good. But they're talking about how, Gideon killed another officer and they can't shoot something that's 4 feet away. I mean, it went a little too long and it in the canon is saying now that troopers are horrible shots, which in A New Hope, we find out that Obi-Wan says, laser blaster shots like this can only be done precisely by stormtroopers. They're very capable, but it has become this joke outside the movies that they can't, hit, the side of a bus, but now they're making it in canon. So I just didn't agree with that. Leave it out. Let us joke about it. Don't make it part of your story to get a laugh. Though I have to say, the best part of this series so far, and maybe the best part of 2019 for me in movies and TV, was when they were beating the crap out of the bag that Yoda was in, the little baby Yoda. Oh, that was hilarious. Tell me how you felt about it. I'm guessing people didn't like it. I thought it was great. That little bastard. Oh, that little marketing tool got a little on the head. Oh, it was great. It was great. So I might not go through this episode, like I usually do from start to finish, but there are things I wanted to touch on. So IG-11 comes out and the nurse droid is still a badass. He saves Baby Yoda, breaks those troopers' arm, beats the crap out of him, kills him. It was great. And I didn't like how he took Baby Yoda and went into the town to now try to save the other three. So you got Cara Dune, you have the Mandalorian, Mando. Thank God we find out his name this episode, which is Din Djarin. I think that definitely helps. I am sick and tired of people calling him Mando. So hopefully they start calling him Din Djarin. And Pedro Pascal let that slip in it pre the series coming out in an interview. So that's fine. But I'm glad they named him. Hopefully that takes over instead of that Mando phrase, because to me that sounded like almost like a racial slur. So I kind of glad they're going to hopefully use his name. But I didn't agree. Why, as a protective, his whole job was to protect, I thought, the baby. Okay. He was told by Nuck Nuck to take care of that baby. Now, I guess as a nurse droid, he was going to take care of all of them, but he should have just went back to the ship, protected the kid, and then we find out how these guys get out of there. But anyways, so he goes into town. We have Grand Moff Gideon pretty much telling us who everybody in the bar really is. Okay, so we find out from him that Din Djarin is his name. We were told by the character, the Mandalorian, that it has to be Grand Moff Gideon. Because he's the last person to see him without his one of the last people to know him before his helmet was on. He hasn't been called Din. God, I keep screwing up. Din Djarin prior to him being saved. Okay, so we do find out that he gets saved by from that battle droid, from that Clone War area droid, after his parents put him into that cellar door type thing. He gets saved by Mandalorians, and it does look like Death Watch, maybe. I'm not very good on the Clone War stuff or Rebels, so I don't know if that was them. I swear that could have been them, but you let me know in the comments below if you think that was those guys. Now we find out that he got saved. He got taken into the culture of the Mandalorians, and Grief Karga is like, oh, wait a minute, you aren't a Mandalorian. And Cara Dune says, no, it's a culture, not a race. So I'm glad they said that and they let us know that. But we find out when the Mandalorians got destroyed by the Empire, it was called, and I have to look at this, Night of 1,000 Tears. And Grand Moff Gideon. So this is like a big info dump this episode. We find out Cara Dune was from Alderaan. No wonder she hates the Empire. I mean, they blew up her planet with the first Death Star. So no wonder any chance she can get, she wants to kill these guys. So the battle droid comes in with the baby in tow. I mean, it's a cool scene. He's turning so the baby won't get hit by blaster fire. He's killing everybody. Grand Moff Gideon brought out this thing, and it's an E-Web heavy repeating blaster. And this thing is going to lay waste to that bar. But he's giving them till nightfall to make a decision if they want to, come out with their hands up, why? You don't need them. You know the baby's not with them. So just kill him. But anyways, he's giving them that time. Well, now, IG-11 comes flying in. So that's a great bad fight scene. IG-11, I think, is my favorite character in the show, as he was in the first episode, and then now in this last episode. I liked how he was, the way he fought. It was just really cool, and it sucks, spoiler, that he dies at the end of this episode. But again, certain things in this series are rushed. So you have Grand Moff Gideon. Now that, having them being attacked, the guys in the bar, they're fighting back. Mando gets out, takes this, that heavy repeating blaster, the E-Web heavy repeating blaster. This thing is massive, and he's shooting it by hand, kind of like what he did in the first episode, but that was on a stand. This he picked up by hand and he's shooting it. So what does Grand Moff Gideon do? He shoots its power source, mortally, we think, or injuring the Mandalorian. Now they all fall back into the bar again. The Mandalorian's obviously hurt. He tells him to tells Cara Dune, take the baby, protect this baby. It's your responsibility now. Follow these, the tunnels through the sewer. They've been trying to cut through the sewer grate, couldn't get through it, but now you have IG-11 cutting through. So they get through. IG-11 says, no, I'll stay with the Mandalorian. So they take him and go. Now, right before this, though, they firebomb the bar. Baby Yoda stops. Now they're aiming at Baby Yoda, the flame throwing trooper, and shoots right at Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda stops it using the Force and throws it back at him, kills him. My question is this: do they want Baby Yoda alive or dead? I'm still kind of confused on this. he keeps saying, I want you to come out alive. I want the package. I want the baby. But yet they also want the baby dead. I can't figure out, do they know if they want him alive or dead? The writers. And John Favreau wrote this episode, and he's done some episodes really good, other episodes, but he's done a great job at this show writing Star Wars, not writing an agenda. So I appreciate that. Um, I don't know. I don't know if they want him alive or dead. But anyways, so they leave. IG-11 goes to take off the Mandalorian's helmet. He's like, no living thing has seen my face since I put my helmet on. Even though that's not a Mandalorian thing, maybe it's this clan. I'll give him that. So IG-11 says, I am not alive. I'm not a living thing. So we get one view of Pedro Pascal as Jin Darin. And it was a good one. His hair's not perfect. He's beat up. He's cut up. It was a quick view of a guy who looked scared, and it humanized him even more. And I think that was good because I was worried they were going to take off the helmet, but I think they did it right. No living person still has seen it. IG-11 sprays some type of chemical on his head because he has a hemorrhaging brain, and it fixes him pretty darn quick. So now they're down into the tunnels, and you see he takes him to where the Mandalorians were hidden. Now, I thought after the Mandalorians came out of hiding and helped him escape that town, they were going to go and restart somewhere else. This is the way. They didn't. They stayed there. And yeah, of course, the Empire's going to find them. And the same Empire that couldn't shoot at the very beginning of this episode, a thing that was 5 feet away, destroyed the Mandalorians, except for the female that leads them, the blacksmith, I call her. So the Mandalorian tells her about what the baby can do, the power he has. He moves things, I think he says, with his mind. And she says, I see. He is related to an ancient sorcerer group or wizard group that we fought. Now, as Mandalorians, wouldn't you know who these guys are? Wouldn't you know who the Jedi were? Didn't their people fight them for the longest time and were allies with them, and then also ancient enemies? It was only like 30, it's not even 30 years since the Empire has been gone. Or I'm sorry, started, since the Jedi Order 66 happened. And Luke Skywalker, just 5 years prior, blew up the Death Star. Once again, they blew it up, and he, saved Darth Vader. And I'm guessing probably starting the Jedi Academy, stuff like that. Maybe that's not canon in this. I don't know. But how don't you know what a Jedi is? I still find that to be weird. Even in A New Hope, Han Solo knew what a Jedi was, but he just, he said it was a hokey religion. We jump ahead to the sequel, and Luke Skywalker, he's, I thought he was a myth. And, Han Solo, one knows him as a general, one knows him as a smuggler. I kind of understood that one more. But how do you think the Jedi, 5 years after Return of the Jedi, only 30 years maybe since Return of the Sith and Order 66, how do you not know what a Jedi is? That's like us saying, you could even go farther back, like not knowing that Kennedy was real. It just makes no sense. So that's something that has bothered me with this sequel trilogy stuff. So they get down, she tells him this stuff. They're now a clan of 2. He's a foundling now. She has charged the Mandalorian to protect this baby and either bring it back to its species. It's a very force sensitive species, and or raise it as his own. And she gives him the Mudhorn's sigil on his shoulder, which looked pretty badass. So they're a clan of 2 now. And she says, go take these to the lava river. It'll take you to the lava flats and you can get out. And she stays back and she wrecks shop. She kills like 6 troopers that come in after them with just her smithing tools. So I'm guessing we're going to see her again. And I hope so. I like that character. So now they get down to the pit, or the lake, excuse me. There's an R2 unit that's covered in lava rock, and it's stuck. They break it apart. Cara Dinn shoots it, pushes the boat out, and they're going down the lava river, reminiscent of Revenge of the Sith. All of a sudden, the R2 unit jacks up like the River of Styx type guy, and he's like 7 feet tall, but it's an R2 unit, and he's going down the river. That was a little weird. But as they see the exit to the flats, they think they're free, but the Mandalorian uses his helmet and can tell there's like a platoon waiting for him. And the IG unit says, I will sacrifice myself, kind of going back to that first episode where he says, manufacturer protocol says I need to, can't be captured, got to blow myself up. And the Mandalorian, no, we need you, this and that. And it's okay, it's a nice scene, but the Mandalorian, after one day, like all of a sudden forgives a droid. I think he would have been like, if they should have either kept this going longer, used it as like a stepping stone to him forgiving droids, or just told him, okay, go blow yourself up. It made no sense. They didn't draw this out long enough where he actually feels for a droid after what he's been saying all season droids have done to his family and things of that nature. So I don't know if I agreed with that moment. But anyways, the IG unit steps into lava, makes it pretty darn far, blows up, kills all those troopers. They get out. They think they're free, but Grand Moff Gideon, one of the best parts of the episode, is flying through in his TIE fighter and shooting at them. The Mandalorian was given a jetpack by the Smith lady and said, were you ever trained in this? He said, yes, as a boy. She said, it will listen to you when you're ready. You must practice. Well, he puts that thing in and flies pretty damn good right away. So again, rush. But he flies up, grappling hooks the TIE fighter, puts a bomb on the wing. It blows up, crashes. That's, we think the last of Gideon. No, we don't. We know he probably survived. And, the people separate. Cara Dune and Grief Karga decide to stay there and start the guild back up. Mandalorian's taking Baby Yoda to go, find his family. One of the best parts of the episode was Grand Moff Gideon is, there's the crash site and he cuts out of the side of it while they were trying to scavenge his plane already. That was kind of funny. And he kicks out, and what does he have? He has the dark saber. So Grand Moff Gideon has the dark saber. Now this dark saber looked dope, looked like the dark saber from the shows, the cartoons, the animated series. Sorry, didn't mean to call them cartoons. But this tells us a couple things. He must have been involved in this Night of a Thousand Tears, and he must. I mean, the last we saw of it, I forget her name because I didn't really watch those shows. Bo-Kanta. She was the leader of the Mandalorians. She had the dark saber after Maul was killed, because Maul took over, the Mandalorians for a short period. Anyways, so are we to believe she's dead? Does the Mandalorian know her? Maybe we'll see her in flashbacks, but I'm guessing she's dead. He must have killed her, took the dark saber. So what does that mean? It means a couple things. The person who has the dark saber is supposed to be the ruler of Mandalore. So, I mean, it does show Mandalorian power. Do they have to follow that? I don't know. But once again, I guess the Mandalorian's going to have to fight to get that saber back, video game style, to upload, to get, level up, because he just got the level up with the jetpack. So all in all, I just did a review when I said I wasn't going to, but the series as a whole, I'm going to watch again. So I'll give you a review on that. The episode was really good. There were some flaws I felt. I also think that people get upset that I don't love it right away because, this is the best Star Wars. Excuse me. This is the best Star Wars we've gotten in a long time. And I get that. But do we have to settle for things that aren't perfect yet? I still don't feel like it draws me. This is the first episode, actually. I felt like I was in that world with them. As the series, though, I don't feel like I felt that. They've made some changes to the lore that I don't know if I agree with, to the canon of the Mandalorians. Will they answer some questions they have raised? I don't know. Season 2 is going to have a lot on its plate. I hope they get a bigger budget. I hope they really focus more. And I kind of hope they find one director to do the whole thing, or at least, because you could see the difference in directing. And so like Deborah Chow was amazing episodes. This Taika Waititi was a great episode. So I'd like to see them get one director or maybe two that work hand in hand and really lock down the next season. But I am happy it's not agenda politics. I am happy that we don't have to worry about them doing, woke storylines. Please don't do it. It's we're only arguing about Star Wars, and I love that. It's just us arguing about Star Wars. And that's the way we've been, since I'm guessing 77. I didn't start arguing about Star Wars till the mid to late 80s, but it's what we do as nerds. We defend our fandom, we defend our ideas. We think other nerds are dumb for having ideas that aren't equal to ours. It's just the way we are. And this is the reason why people love this show so much. But let's pump the brakes, like I said at the beginning, and realize this show is not perfect. And they could do a lot of things to make it better. And I hope they do. They're on the right track. So let's just hope they do it. Tell me what you think. Down in the comments below, let me know what you feel. Did you love this episode? Did you love the series? Did you not? Let me know, really. I'd like to hear what you have to say. And remember, I'm going to bounce out now, but remember, if they start calling you names, they've already lost the war. Have a great day, everybody.